There is a body found under a bridge. It's a 5-year-old boy, a not quite 5-year-old boy, caught under a bridge when a flash flood comes through. And that's what puts Joanna Brady and her department on the trail of a serial killer. But I'd like to start by saying this is Joanna Brady number 20. I've been writing about Joanna for a long time. I've been writing about J.P. Beaumont for even longer. And those people have aged over time. They aren't stuck in 1993 and stay there. They've moved. And so Joanna has gone from being a, a new widow to being elected sheriff when she didn't expect to be, to remarrying and so forth. So we've watched her grow and change over the years. When in the first scene of Desert Heat, the first Joanna Brady book, her daughter Jenny is 9 years old and she throws a hand grenade into a conversation with her mother and grandmother by asking if she was a preemie. She was not a preemie. It turns out they're waiting for Joanna's husband to come home and go out to celebrate their 10th wedding anniversary. And Jenny is a smart little kid, and she has counted on her fingers, and there aren't enough months between their anniversary and her birthday. No, she was not a preemie. She was on time. The wedding was late. So that's where we met Jennifer Brady back then. When we meet her in The Girl from Devil's Lake, Joanna, her mother, is on her way to Phoenix to be the speaker at Jenny's graduation from the Arizona Police Academy because Jenny, now a college graduate, has just been hired on as a new deputy for Pima County. So that's one of the joys of writing a series is watching people grow up and become different people. This book is written in a rather unusual way. Readers will pick it up and they'll expect to be in Bisbee, Arizona, and much to their astonishment, they'll be in a little town in Minnesota, Fertile, Minnesota, in 1956. And they'll watch in dismay as this little kid, Stephen Roper, at age 11, murders his step grandmother and gets away with it. And there's nothing like getting away with it to setting a serial killer on the road to being a serial killer. So Stephen Roper's story is sort of like wallpaper at the back of the novel. We see him grow up, we see him committing one murder after another after another. Meantime, Joanna is dealing with this little kid who has shown up under the bridge, the flooded bridge in St. David, Arizona. Flash floods on the San Pedro River are really impressive. Most of the time, the San Pedro is this sort of deep canyon. It's not really that deep. It's only about 20 feet deep or so, but it usually has just a little trickle of water in it. But when there's a storm, the flash floods on the San Pedro, complete with 12-foot high walls of water, are really impressive. And that's what brings Joanna into this case. What this book is really about is Joanna dealing with a serial killer who has hidden in plain sight for decades, being a school teacher during the year and being a serial killer on his summer vacations. And he has murdered various people all over the country. And those homicides were the perpetrator is a complete stranger to the victim are the hardest ones to solve. And it's Joanna and her team who make the connection between that little boy and all of those other cases. I watch a lot of true crime, and what I've seen in many of the police officers is when they are investigating a crime, especially ones that don't get solved, especially the ones that include children, they can be talking about that case decades later and they'll still tear up because they become involved with not only the victim, but also the victim's family. And so we see cops from all over the country who are still haunted by the case that happened in their particular jurisdiction. And it was interesting to me to watch how those strings all get pulled together.